Well, hello and welcome to another RiderCamTV video, and today we are down at the factory of dreams, BMW Motorrad down at Ocean, Falmouth, and Andy, Jules and Dave have very kindly let me take out the 1250, so this is a 2023 version, R1250 RT. Now this is the one with all of the adaptive cruise control on the front, beautiful eyes, and it's got the, I think it's 10.25 inch screen on it as well. So we're going to take it off, have a look at it, have a ride around of it, because I am a fan of the RTs. I'm not a fan of these big boxes, but my bike's in for a little bit of work on it, and I've often said I would have another RT again, because I absolutely love the RTs. The only thing I don't like is these panniers. They fold out, so you've got to be really careful with the amount you pack, because when you open it, it all falls out. If you could buy a police spec RT, then I would quite happily have a brand new RT. However, they are very expensive. So, first things first, we've got hill hold, all that sort of good stuff. We've got all the usual refinements on the handlebars, SOS button, which is really good, and some cheeky buttons down the side here, which are your quick link buttons to different things. So this one's got the radio on it as well, and they've not got one of these silly things sticking out here for the aerial, and it's got the screen as well. Look at that. So let's go off and see what it's like. Now I'm really worried about doing this review because I've been a fan of the RT for a very long time. I've had a couple in my time, not new ones. I've had a couple in my time, and they've just been exceptional bikes, you know, exceptional. They just do everything you want them to do. They're comfy, and I just love riding them. Absolutely love riding them. So I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to like this a little bit too much. And this one's got cruise control, all the refinements we'd normally have. Just a little bit, that's better. Got cruise control. This has got adaptive cruise control as well, so it'll be interesting to see what that's going to be like. We'll go around and we'll have a look and see, shall we? So let's go. I think what we'll do is we'll go up this way, because normally we would go around through the town. We might do that a little bit later, but first impressions are, wow, this is smooth. If you've got a GSA already, or a GS that's sort of 20, 21, 22, 23, it is just so smooth, and this is no difference. I mean, this is so smooth. No vibrations from the pegs, no vibrations from the handlebars, and I tell you what, on the RTP that you'll see on the channel very soon, which is a new acquisition for me, I feel very much cramped up. This is more of a sports tour, so you're sat more sporting, your legs are crunched up a little bit. This one, I tell you what, I feel like I'm sat on it, but in a really good way, that I feel like I'm really in control of it. So some bikes you hit on and it feels very much like you're sat on it, you're not really in that much control of the bike. This one, oh, I love it already. So we're going to go into a it's got a quick shifter, look at that, lovely. There. And one thing that I've always liked about the RTs isn't about all the gadgetry and stuff, it's about the way that the bike handles. The RT handles exceptionally, and I know the GSA and the GSs, they all handle in exceptional ways. However, at really slow speed, there's something about the RT that's very different than the GSAs. The GSAs, I find that it's very slow speed, it's the tiniest movement on the handlebars, and it feels like you're all over the road. these just feel planted, and when I mean planted, it just feels so good. It's just unbelievable. So I'm going to put this cruise control on at 37. That's, well, let's go up to get a bit more. So hopefully it gets closer to this vehicle. It's slowing down there. Look at that. How cool is that? Now I can change with this button over here. I can change the closeness. So it's 2, so it'll get closer. 1, it'll get closer. And there it will drop me right back. You can see the speed is changing. I'm not doing anything, and it's really good actually, because I'm a firm believer that on a bike or in a car, cruise control is a really, really good thing. However, cruise control for me, with the adaptive function on cars, have been a bit hit and miss. I've been in hire cars before with them on, and nearly been thrown through the windscreen because there's been a slight curve on a dual carriageway. It's seen a vehicle in the lay-by, and it's nearly stuck my face to the windscreen and nearly thrown me right through it. This is just sublime. Right round the roundabout, we can go down that dual carriageway a little bit more. It's in Falmouth. I don't know if you've not been here, there aren't that many dual carriageways to try the adaptive cruise control. So we're going to go right round again, and then we'll go and look at what the bike's actually like. A bit of a walk around. I've got to say, this screen, 10.25 I think it is, TFT display. It's got all the functionality to connect it to your phone. I do have the connected app, the BMW connected app for my GSA. However, I'm not using it on here because this is a loan bike, and the loan bike is being used as a company bike by one of the sales managers. He's got all his stuff set up, and I don't really want to ruin it and connect my stuff in, which would be a nightmare. So, and of course this isn't a video about the TFT. I mean, the TFT is just insanely beautiful, it really is. And it splits in half, so you can have a map there, you can have a map on full screen, so you can navigate next to your helmet, all that good stuff. That's necessarily what we're going to talk about, just like a whole video on itself. I was really interested in seeing what this bike handles like, and feels like. I've got to say, after only a few miles, I really hate to say it, but I feel like I'm on one. It's awful, isn't it? Why BMW will do all these things? And of course this blue is very nice too. It's already picked up that car in the front, because I've got it as far back as I can. So if I just cut that down to the 1. See, it's let me get a bit closer now. Now that car's obviously not doing 60, we're not doing 60, and we don't have to do accelerator. I will keep it on there just in case. But I'm not controlling the speed of this bike. The bike is controlling its own speed at the moment. It's about KA in front. It's doing things in one. Usually people are doing a lot slower than that, which is quite great. But it's keeping me a good distance. It's speeding up now. I have to slow down because of the speed limit here anyway. In actual fact, it's really, really nice. Really smooth, progressive. And it keeps up with the car in front, gives you that good distance. I'm actually really impressed by that, to be honest. Wow, the quick shifter is as smooth as butter. It's as smooth as my GSA's, if not, dare I say it, a little bit smoother. Now, I'm not doing any speed here at all, 2 miles an hour. Didn't feel like I was going to drop the bike at all, really, really well planted and really well controlled. And that is the one thing that I love about the RT. You're able to control the bike at slow speed without any effort whatsoever. Now I make mistakes all the time. I think if you get on a bike and you think, I'm the best rider ever, I don't make any mistakes, that is when you should hang up your boots, and never ever get back on the motorbike. Now, the thing that I've always liked about RTs, and this bike is no exception, is the fact that when you're riding at a slow speed, it is insanely, and I mean insanely controllable. So I was talking about the talent that I may or may not have on a bike. This bike really, really does aid whatever talent, whatever skills you've got to control the motorbike. And even, as we saw earlier on, 2 miles an hour, it's so easy to control. Considering this is about 260, 270 kilos, I think. And it's not dissimilar to the weight of the GSA, although the weight feels very much lower down. I don't think there's much difference in it, to be honest, in the way that they are weighted. But because the GSA has handlebars up here, well, they feel a lot higher up. You feel like you're actually sitting in the GSA, whereas the RT, you're very much sitting on the GSA, on the RT. So it's a very, very different feel of riding, very, very different seating style. But it's one that I actually really like. I was really dreading actually liking it as much as I like it. The screen, you know, it's beautiful. It's got everything on there. The font is easy to read. You've got everything where you need it. You can go in through all the menus. You can connect your phone. You can listen to music. It's got a radio. You can see about your vehicle. You know, you can do all of these things. And incidentally, it's funny. It's a 10.25 screen. When you go into like my vehicle screen, I've got there now, it reverts back to being the same size as my GSA screen, which is quite strange. You think they would have filled it out, perhaps put a bit more information in there, or even just thought about that, how that information was going to be displayed, and not have all these empty spaces here. But it does present a little bit of a problem, doesn't it? So you have a TFT, you've got a phone, you connect the phone to the screen, you get the connected app, you load the maps on, have a headset in your helmet, and connect all of that to the TFT. You're kind of bound a little bit by using the connected app. Now I'm of the mind that I really don't like having my phone doing all the work all the time, for various reasons when I'm away on tour, but I'm wondering whether there's a way that you can mount like the XT above here, above the TFT, and just use the navigation from the TFT as opposed to relying on the BMW stuff. Because BMW connected app really works well. The only thing I don't like about the connected app is it requires access to your GPS all of the time, whether you're using it or whether you're not using it. It requires you to have the connection all the time. Now, I have been away on quite a few tours. Haven't used the connected app, but the connected app has been on my phone, and it has drained the phone a little bit more than I was expecting. It might be actually going in and out of phone signal, but it does drain the battery a little bit. So I would still, if I had this, now this is what, 22, 23, 24,000 pounds in the UK. These are not cheap bikes, in the slightest, not cheap at all. But you are paying for all the gadgets and stuff. On top of that, you're having to compromise, aren't you? So you either have the connected app and use the screen as it's intended, or you have your old sat nav and all the things that you might have on your old bike, and have to buy stuff in order to mount it properly onto the bike. So it's not just going to be 23, 24,000 pounds. You're going to have to spend more money on buying all of those bits, have all of the comfort bits that you want on it. But having said that, it's got heated grips, it's got heated seats, and what I do like about this is it's a 5-stage seat, 5-stage heated grips, and no longer are they either on or burn your fingers off, or on or burn your buttocks. They actually do warm your buttocks quite nice, at varying degrees, as well as your hands. The mirrors, I know that there's a lot of people that don't like these sort of mirrors, and these mirrors are brilliant. They're small, they're surrounded by trim, and lots of people think, wow, they're just rubbish. But in actual fact, the reason that I like these mirrors a lot more than the bigger ones is the ones on the GSA, you can look to the right, or you can use your eyes. This one, you have to look down, which then changes your peripheral vision, so you actually see much, much more to the side of you. And I like the fact that they're all integral. It would be quite nice if they were electric, but then, hey, you don't want everything electric, it might all go wrong. So, seating position, we haven't really talked about seating position. I'm fully upright with my back. My elbows feel like they're at 90 degrees, so we look a bit lower actually. Not uncomfortable at all. I wouldn't need any bar risers or anything like that on the bike. My bum and my back are at 90 degrees, and it feels very much like my knees and my legs are at 90 degrees actually. On the oldest type RTs, liquid cooled and the air cools before this one, feels very much like your legs are cramped up a little bit more, because it's a bit more like a sports touring rather than just a touring bike where you're sitting in bed. But I do feel very sit up in bed on this bike. Completely. Like I say, there's no vibrations, pegs or the handlebars or anything. It's really, really nice. And we do also have this massive thing, this massive thing in front, the screen. So the screen goes up and it goes down. And it goes down quite a way. So if you're going to be touring in a country like Spain, places like that, at the moment at 40 quid, you can put it down, get a bit of a whiff in your face, put the screen right up, and it's just total clean air here, completely total clean air. There is no buffeting. I appreciate we're only doing 29 miles an hour, but there's no buffeting, there's nothing here. It's very, very clean. I can feel the air there come in, and there is nothing on the back of my glove. You really can feel the vibrations of the air, there is nothing. And it's just so controllable. I mean, you can flick this bike around so easily, so easily. This is the 2023 BMW R1250 RT. Isn't it look smart? Now, I've ridden it down here and I've ridden it around for a couple of hours this morning, tried out the cruise control, the adaptive cruise control, the screen at the front, the screen, you know, TFT screen, all of that sort of stuff. But doesn't this look a spectacular bike? Now, the thing that I really love about this bike is it's so easy to control. You feel like you're sat on the bike rather than in the bike, but in a connected way that you feel part of the bike. I think the wheelbase is probably a little bit different than the GSA, although I'm not sure, but it's 1250cc, it's got all of those torques and all of that brake horsepower and all of that sort of stuff. We'll put that up on the side now, and you can see that I'm on my own today, so it's going to be a little bit different this video. But the only reason that I haven't got one of these for a long time is because of these. So these panniers are really, really good. However, when you open them, they may be cavernous, but it all drops down. So you're only ever going to pack about half. Your bag might come out to there, the straps in there to hold them on, but that's good. But if you can see inside here, there is probably a good inch, probably a good inch and a half of space that you lose when you put your bag in there and you pack, which is great. But when we go away on tours, and because we tour so much, to be able to pack in this pannier, you're kind of losing that, and you're losing this bit here as well, because this is the shape of it going in and around the bike itself. So you're losing some of that shape and the literage, and the fact that, you know, it's held on by these straps, which is really, really good. But it is £24,000 worth of bike, and they hang quite low and they're quite flimsy, I would say, although I never had a problem with them when I had them. Locking points go in really nice and easy, but you kind of got to use your knee to then clip that down to then lock them on. Now, you can lock them, there's a handle there that releases when you turn the key, it will release that and you can take them off, which is really, really good. But I don't think that the RT looks right without panniers. Now I like the RTP panniers, which are, you know, like 20 litres, and they're kind of really small. They're about that thin. If you could buy this bike with the RTP panniers and the hump, because the hump adds to more space, I'd probably get one of these. But anyway, look at it. Shaft drive, as we know, really, really nice. The Michelin tyres that it's got on there, they're really, really good. It's got the boxer engine, as we know, with the shift cam, exactly the same as the 1250 GSAs, although I think they gear them slightly differently for this bike, because this feels like it's a bit torquier, unless it's because the way that you're sat, it feels a little bit sportier, because my legs, my knees go into here and down to the pegs, but it doesn't feel like the old ones when you're sat down and you're kind of, I don't know, you're kind of scrunched up more like a sporty bike, which is a bit weird. But up front, we got some bits up here. So this screen is beautiful. Obviously these things, if they're flickering on the camera, it's only because of the frame rate. But you get your BMW, Motorrad welcome, and then you get your display. Down the left you got the temperature, then you've got your auto lights, heated seat, although I did set that to 0, so heated seat, and if you had heated grips on, they'd be on there. There's an arrow there pointing down so that you can go down and turn things, you know, go into the settings. Bluetooth's popping up. It's obviously not going to connect to my phone because it's connected to Andy's. You got your time there, your fuel, not range, but your fuel amount there. And if you press up, you see up in the top right hand corner, it takes you through all your trips, average mileage, all your T-stops and all of that gumph, and your tyre pressure monitors, how much range you've got, and then straight back to how much in bars you've got. And you can see here that it goes down, so if you click down, all of the icons have changed. They're really, really quite good. They're like brought it up to 2023 values, I think. So your vehicle, you can see about your vehicle, and like I said earlier on, it's interesting that they've got this really wide screen, but they've chose to only display the same information in the same space that you would have on your GS or your GSA, which is a bit weird. Got a little blue arrow to the right, so if we go across, it gives you your onboard computer, all your trip stuff, tyre pressures, service is due in 180 miles, and then service is due again, so it's another message. If I go up, what else have we got? We got radio. So let's turn down and see what happens with radio. So I can turn.
I feel like
oh my god, that is loud.
Saving chicken dinner craving, 0 hoots giving.
That is loud. That is really, really loud. But how do you actually turn the volume down, I wonder? That is really, really loud, isn't it? But you can change your radio source, your FM stations, all of that good stuff. Navigation, if my phone was connected, I'd have that all set up, but obviously I can't go in there. Media, if I had my phone connected, and the same as my telephone, if it was connected, we'd be able to get in there. And the settings, you've got your assist. This is all about your dampening, your cruise control, all of that sort of stuff. So you can have your dampening on dynamic, road. We've got it on dynamic at the moment, so we're going to keep that. Let's go back into it. Then what have we got? Heating, grip and seat are on 0, which is quite strange because that's saying 1 down there. We've got vehicle settings, all your alarm settings and your lights, system settings, date, time, units, all that, and your favourite buttons. So what have we got? Not assigned favourite button 1. So let's assign that one to grip heating. So that's done. Let's come out of there. Number 2. Let's set that to heat setting, or seat heating, sorry. And number 3, let's do that to radio. So, the reason I've done that and showed you that is because on the left-hand side of the bike, there are 4 buttons. So if I press number 1, it's put the heating on number 5, which is strange. So I'm pressing and holding, and see the heating is going down, the bar heating. So you press and hold for it to come down, press and hold for it to go off, which is really quite strange because you would have thought that it would take you into the menu. So quick press of number 2 button, which is what we set up for the seat heating, gives you full on. So press and hold, press and hold, press and hold, press and hold. And that's taken that down to 0. And number 3, radio, it takes you straight to the radio settings, which is really weird because you'd think that it would have taken you to the settings on the screen with the other button presses, but it's not. That's really odd. So really like the screen. Can't show you the maps, but there's plenty of other places that can show you the maps. Down here on the left hand side you've got a pocket, which is really quite good. I used to keep my wallet and stuff in there, and it's all controlled under the central locking as well, which is good. But on the right hand side you've got another box. Let's open that one, and this one is where you can put your phone on to charge. So you can see I'm using the phone, so I can't show you, but the phone would slide in there. It's got like a rubber mat, and there's also a pull tab there, which presumably you can make sure that you can make the length the right size. There you go. So you got a little arrow there to unclip it. So you put your phone in there. That little tab is clipped out, so put your phone in there, clip that, and it would hold your phone in place. Whilst I think this one's got wireless charging, but if you haven't got it, you can use the Bluetooth. You can use the Bluetooth connection that's in there, which is really good. And it looks like there's a little bit of ability for air to get in and out through there as well, stop your phone overheating, which is really good. On the right hand side we've got a DIN socket. Why do they keep having to have DIN sockets? But nevertheless, a DIN socket for power, and I think that is the only one we've got. Now on the old RTs we used to have one on the side, so no, it looks like it's the only one we've got. Mirrors, really like the mirrors, you can see everything. I really like these mirrors. And then a bit of the styling really. This is much bigger than the older shape or older version, and I didn't get any wind, air or anything on my hands when I was riding, which is really, really nice. But then you get this styling. So let me turn the bike on. Look at those lights. Now that's really quite special. I think it looks really mean. Now they're not flashing in real life if they are on the camera, but you got your fog lights down the bottom, or your running lights, and then your running lights that actually look like evil eyes, but they're really, really nice, really distinctive, and that's why you've got such a presence on the road. 2 massive, great big brake discs, Brembo brakes as well. Interestingly enough, they never ever do it on BMWs with fender extenders, but looking at where that curve would come out, it doesn't look like you can fit one, because these plastic mountings, these fairings by the looks of it, it would chafe against there, which is quite strange. But nice pipes. Obviously you've got the shift cam and stuff, and all of this is covered, everything's covered. So on the GSA it's all open, this is obviously all covered, and a really big stainless steel by the looks of it exhaust pipe that does sound really, really nice. And with black wheels, I really like this colour, to be honest. Right, and that's how it sounds. What a nice bike. Anyway, I know that I can't be in the video, you perhaps don't want to see me in the video. I'm going to turn it off now. Anyway, this bike, let's see if we can get it into the same shot. This bike, down by the sea, there we go. So this BMW R1250 RT, down at Swampole Beach, taking in Falmouth. Awesome, awesome ability at slow speed. So much torque, so much power, so many refinements on it, it's unbelievable. I'm quite scared that I might have to go back and see what sort of price they are. Very, very nice bike. Without doubt, one of the best RTs I've ridden in a long, long time. Anyway, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, do all that jazz, and we'll see you in the next video.